Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with the RF Elements Company. Today's host is Tassos Alexou, Managing Partner at RF Elements. He'll be presenting today, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to submit them in the question box, and Tassos will answer them at the end of today's presentation. Tassos, I'm finished for now. Please go ahead and take it over.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining. Again, my name is Tassos, and I am a managing partner for RF Elements, and I run the Americas out of the Texas office. Today, we'll be talking about our integration platform, product line, and the different types of products we have for kind of the do-it-yourselfers that are out there, as well as system integrators and custom solution providers. This will be the hardware that we offer that can help you achieve some of your goals for some of the products that you may be trying to make. So a little background first on RF Elements. Oh, hold on a second here. Sorry. Waiting for screens to update. 1 second. Okay, a little background on RF Elements. We're based in Slovakia in Europe. We were established in 2010. We have over 50 employees, and the majority of our employees are in product development, and our main focus is innovation and innovative products. So we try and bring game-changing innovations, not only in the performance of our products, but also the look and feel and user experience when using our products. So many different points of view on how we try to bring innovation to our products. As I mentioned, I run out of the Texas office here in the U.S. Our headquarters is in the capital of Slovakia in Europe, and we also have a logistics warehouse in Hong Kong. So here's a brief overview of our integration platforms. It consists of antenna enclosures, mounting brackets, outdoor enclosures for PCBs and other indoor products as well. All of our integration platforms, kind of have this easy integration of electronics with a very high functionality and a very good look and easy installation. So again, not only is it extremely functional for the goal you're trying to achieve, but we also address, again, the aesthetics of the product as well as the user experience for installation and assembly in this particular product line of ours. So the first platform in our integration platform that we'll look at, the first product line, is our STATIONBOX CPE antenna platform. So we have three basic models here. We have the STATIONBOX MIKRO, which is on the left-hand side. This is kind of the low-cost CPE market type antenna product. Then we have our STATIONBOX XL, which is kind of the mid-class, higher gain CPE, potential backhaul repeater type antenna enclosure. And then the last one is our STATIONBOX XL carrier class. This is our high-end, high-performing antenna enclosure, particularly for the Microtech, made for Microtech product line or types of products. So if we look at our first product, the STATIONBOX MIKRO, this is a very compact and versatile, cost-effective CPE solution. Again, it's made for Microtech router boards. As far as the use of the product, it's very easy integration. It has a zero-tool approach, and it's a canopy-style enclosure. So it's basically a one-piece, top cover without any seams or issues for sealing or keeping water out of your enclosure. So it's a very, very functional, very easy to use, no tools required type of CPE antenna enclosure. So if we look at how it comes apart, you can see that every part of the antenna comes out using only friction, not requiring any screws. Even mounting the board, there's clips that hold the board in place, and then finally the insert just slides in, as well as the bottom cover. So again, it's a very easy to use antenna enclosure, again requiring zero tools. So not only does it make it quick and seamless for you to actually build it yourself or integrate the product yourself, all around it doesn't require any tools and makes your life a lot easier. the STATIONBOX MIKRO comes in basically two versions. We have a 5 gigahertz version and a 2.4 gigahertz version. Again, this is ideally suited for the low-cost CPE market, something kind of at the same level of maybe an SXT from Microtech or a NanoStation or a NanoStation Loco type device. This is kind of in the same gain perspective as far as distance goes for this type of CPE. So again, whether you're a do-it-yourselfer that likes to build your own CPEs because you want to pick the best of breed products for type of radio, type of antenna, type of enclosure, this is the product for you. If you're a systems integrator or an OEM type company that builds white labeled products for people, again, this is the product for you and your users. If we look at the price point again, this is probably the lowest cost, highest performing antenna enclosure on the market at an MSRP price of just under $14. You can see that it's a very cost competitive product when coupled with a router board. This puts you in the kind of $60 to $70 CPE range, so very cost effective. So, why you would want to use a STATIONBOX MIKRO, again, because it's very easy to use. It's a one-piece enclosure providing better environmental resistance. There's no seam going around the outside of the enclosure to worry about water ingress. It's very easy to maintain and upgrade. Again, because it requires no tools, if you decide that you want to go to a different radio module, it's very easy for the insert inside to slide out and change out that mini PCI radio if you're using like a 411, or upgrade from, let's say, an 802.11n type router board to an AC router board. Again, makes it very easy to upgrade and to maintain the system moving forward. Some other reasons why to use it, again, it's very flexible with wireless electronics. Again, you get to not only use the card or board that you want to make some custom setups, but also, again, allows you a pretty easy upgrade path if later down the line you decide to go to a higher speed or different type of modulation radio board in the future. So very, very easy from that point of view. Our next product is the STATIONBOX XL. So this is the mid-class product that we talked about earlier. Again, it's a very durable CPE platform. It's again at a higher gain level than the MIKRO. So this is more in line with kind of the sextant type CPE product. So as far as distances go, this is kind of the product for that. It also allows very seamless integration of other Microtech router boards. So not only does it allow you to integrate the kind of square 411, 911, 711 form factor router board with this antenna for integration, it also allows you to use the router board 433. The other part is that unlike the STATIONBOX MIKRO, this also has the integrated nano bracket. So this gives you the articulating 3-axis nano bracket mount built in and included. So not only do you get a higher gain CPE, but you have that third axis for skew and tilting the angle of this antenna for better alignments and potentially better signal strength. So if we look at how it comes apart, again, it's fairly toolless, just like the MIKRO. The bottom door and the inserts slide out. They accommodate many different router boards. Again, not only the kind of square 9 series form factor, but also including the 433, slightly larger form factor. Again, we talk about the nano bracket that's built in. So you can see 3 axes of positioning, right? So not only do you get tilt and left and right horizontal, but you also get skew. So you have the ability to rotate the CPE as well, again, to make sure that your vertical and horizontal polarities are at the same angle as your tower, because the antennas in your tower are not always perfectly vertical, right? Sometimes it might be slightly to the left or slightly to the right with some angles, and you have to be able to adjust skew to get that perfect alignment, and this one gives you that ability. Here again is a more detailed view of the products that are used. Again, we use high quality materials in everything that we build. Again, all UV resistant ABS plastic in the radome and the enclosure. You also get the visible LEDs in the back. So when the boards are inserted inside, we use kind of light pipes to bring the LED status outside so you can see signal strength. The mounting bracket is also using die-cast aluminum, right? So it's not an all plastic mount. So when you use hose clamps, as many of you do, or tie wraps, you can pull them fairly tight and not have to worry about cracking plastic because we actually have an aluminum mount. And this mount also allows you to flush mount the CPE to a wall or an eave if you choose by directly screwing it to it. So you don't have to only mount it to a pole. It's a single mounting system that not only gives you 3 axes of alignment, but also multiple mounting positions on a pole or on a wall flat surface. The XL comes in 2 versions as well, a 5 gig and a 2.4 gig. Again, it's a dual polarization, horizontal and vertical. The 5 gig model is roughly 18 dB in gain, and the 2.4 gigahertz version is roughly 13 dB in gain. And again, the price point is mid-range. It's at $35.90, so roughly $36. Again, if you couple this with the same low cost, roughly $50 or $60 router board, you're looking at a sub 100, roughly 90 something dollar CPE compared to the cost of a sextant, which is the competing product in this kind of category. So also the sextant is not available in 2.4, it's only 5 gigs. So again, this gives you a 2.4 gigahertz option in that same form factor distance class. So some good benefits there. So why you would use a STATIONBOX XL? Besides the flexibility, gain, and cost, there are some other benefits to it. One of the biggest ones is the flexibility of the platform in which we allow you to use router board 433. So why would you want multiple radios inside the enclosure, and how can you utilize them? If you look at the picture on the top right, you'll see that that insert that allows you to mount the board also has SMA port holes so you can put pigtails. So you are able to mount a second or possibly even a third radio inside the enclosure, one going to the integrated antenna, but possibly up to 2 external antennas. So if you were to use, for example, the 5 gig version of this antenna enclosure, you could use that 5 gig radio and antenna as kind of your backhaul to your tower to bring connectivity into a remote location, and then use that second or possibly even third radio as kind of your hotspot or your relays, right? So you can connect omnis or additional sectors to this radio to kind of build micro pops, right? So it's a really low cost, single enclosure, again, very easy to deploy, very compact and clean solution for some of the micro pops or mini pops that people are building these days. So again, if gain is a requirement, you need longer links, this has the higher gain you're looking for. If you're looking for multiple radios to build repeater sites, micro pops, again, the inclusion of using the 433 gives you that. Again, with those second antennas possibly giving you the ability to feed additional sites. And again, the integrated nano bracket for easy integration into multiple mounting apparatuses. The third product in that product line is the STATIONBOX XL carrier class. This is, again, the high-end, more advanced CPE platform that's made for Microtech. This is, again, for those higher-end projects that maybe require a higher IP rating for protection, installations where dust ingress or water ingress or salt water environments might be an issue, corrosive environments. The STATIONBOX XL carrier class, again, is the antenna platform that will allow you to gain entry into these other particular installations. It's similar to the XL as far as size and gain. There's slightly better RF performance, but also has an aluminum die-cast body on the back, so you get better EMI protection, and therefore, again, it's a more durable product, along with the integrated nano bracket still, so you still get those 3 axes of alignment. If we take it apart and look inside, again, we can see some of the other added benefits. Again, it integrates with the kind of square form factor 9 series board, as well as the 411. But you can see it has an orange O-ring seal. So this gives you your IP65 rating for environments that require it. It also has a sealed Ethernet pass-through along with a grounding cable that allows you to ground the board to the grounding of the Ethernet cable. So not only better EMI protection, better grounding protection, better sealing protection for rougher outdoor environments, and again giving you the kind of light pipes for bringing LED status outside of the enclosure, along with the 3-axis mounting system of the nano bracket. Unlike the XL and the Micro, this does require some tools, right? So we do have 4 large captive screws. So we've made them captive so it's easy, so you don't lose the screws, drop the screws, and what have you. So you still require some tools in assembling this, but again, we've made it easier with captive large screws, so you don't have to worry about stripping out small screws to close it, or dropping or losing them. So again, die-cast metal body, the same high-grade UV-resistant ABS plastic, visible LEDs, integrated nano bracket, captive screws, and again a waterproof Ethernet connector system that comes along with it as well. If we look at the models, just like the XL and the Micro, they come in both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. You can see that the gain performance in 5 gig is better. It's roughly 19 or a little over 19 dB in 5 gig. And in 2.4, again, it's slightly better at about 14 dB of gain. And if we look at the pricing here, you can see, again, it's still pretty cost competitive. I apologize for the typo there on the 14. I believe the price is $65, not $35. But you can still see a difference of roughly $70 for the 5 gig version MSRP, and roughly $36 for the 2.4 gigahertz version. So again, for those higher end installations where you require high-end CPEs, not only for maybe customer acceptance, but maybe for environmental acceptance, the carrier class STATIONBOX XL is the antenna of choice for those particular installations. Again, you know, if you have an increased requirement for environmental protection, RF performance issues, or you just need a durable antenna enclosure, these are the key points for why you should use a STATIONBOX XL as your CPE, or potentially as your integrated, private labeled product for your customer base. So we're just going to look at some quick customer installs. Again, you can see multiple people around the world, not just in the US, are using this product. If we look at the STATIONBOX MIKRO, again, you can see one of the low-cost aspects is it does not have the bracket system built into it. There is one available. There's a bracket that you can buy to use it. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. Vertical on a pole or flat mount against a wall are the 2 mounting options. They also happen to work with some aftermarket reflector dish systems that are out there. So if the MIKRO is kind of the price point you need, but perhaps the gain performance isn't, you can couple that with some reflector dishes to try to boost the performance and link distance of the MIKRO. Again, the STATIONBOX XL is used, and again, here is just a simple installation where somebody's using it as a kind of a backhaul into a network. And again, here you can see some customers that have relabeled the product for the kind of OEM resell market under their own brand name. Here's a picture that shows you, again, this is not the STATIONBOX XL carrier class. I apologize for that. This is the STATIONBOX XL, but you can see in this picture where they actually utilize multiple radios, and bring those LMR cables out to make a repeater site, so they either come in on the station box and then go out on another dish antenna to relay a link through. But this is how you would bring those antenna connectors or this SMA connectivity from inside the enclosure out through the door to be able to, again, build repeater sites or relay sites if you choose. So now we move into the enclosure line that we have for the integration platform. One of the first products that we offer is the STATIONBOX Alu and also the STATIONBOX Alu Carrier class. So these are our die-cast aluminum enclosures. They're both weather and have a weather and noise protection. You can see there's O-ring seals and grounding built into the system. And we have two different models. Again, the difference between the Alu and the Alu Carrier class is basically size. The Carrier class is a little bit deeper and accommodates more pass-throughs and more connectivity options. Oh, sorry. Hold on one second. So if we look again at the STATIONBOX Alu and Carrier class, we can see if you pull the door off, again it has captive screws. It accommodates many boards. Again, the same small form factor of the 9 and 4 series, including the 433, 435, ALIX boards, and even APU boards from PC Engines. Again, it has a plastic mounting plate with many holes that are pre-drilled for specific boards. But if there's a board you want to use that's not in the predefined hole punch out, you could always make your own to fit your board. So again, this is not only an integration product for Microtech or PC Engines product, but really any custom radio solution that you may have, you can integrate as long as it fits inside. So many options there for that. If we again compare the carrier class versus the non-carrier class, basically what we're looking at are more or less RF connectors, again either more or less Ethernet pass-throughs, and again a larger interior space that gives you more options for adding not only your main processor board, but potentially the addition of other items within that enclosure. So really, you know, all the aspects of environmental protection and shielding are the same in the carrier class and the non-carrier class. The difference is how many feed-through ports do you need at the bottom, you know, for RF, and how many do you need for Ethernet connectivity. We've had people use the end connector holes for RF as Ethernet pass-throughs as well. So if you want to put a 5 or 7 port router in there and make this an outdoor router enclosure, nothing to do with wireless, again, you have that ability with reusing those RF ports as actually Ethernet pass-through ports. So the choice is yours. They both come with a really nice mount that mounts to a pole, easily allows you to drop the enclosure on, and then using the thumb screw at the bottom to secure it in place. So again, a very nice mounting system that allows you to easily, again, drop the enclosure on a pole or a wall and secure it in place, again, with captive screws, so you don't have to worry about necessarily using really small screwdrivers or potentially even losing those screws when you open, install, and maintain it. If we look at the price points for the two, we can see the STATIONBOX Alu, which has 1 Ethernet port and 6 end connector holes, is priced at roughly $36 MSRP. The upgraded version, the carrier class, gives you up to 10 RF end connectors and 3 Ethernet ports with a deeper cavity to allow you to mount not only more radios, but potentially other supporting items that you may need for your integration product, and it has an MSRP price of roughly $46 US. The next product in our enclosure line of integration products is the STATIONBOX S carrier class. So this is a compact aluminum enclosure. Again, it's made for Microtech. It gives you some expandable connectivity options, and again has a quick mountable system for most antennas. So you can mount this thing on our our sector carrier class line, as well as Ubiquiti antennas with that kind of slide in and click mounting system to make it easy for you. So if we open it up again, it's pretty simple, almost toolless. Allows you again to work with that same Microtech form factor in the 4 series, 7 series, and 9 series of boards, and giving you an all die-cast enclosure for RF protection, as well as LED status coming outside and easy access to the bottom ports. We also include multiple punch-outs, so you are capable of again installing a second potential radio in there and bringing those radio ports out via pigtail, giving you multiple Ethernet ports if the board supports it. If we look at like the router board 922, not only does it have a gigabit Ethernet port, but it also has a SFP module. So this gives you the option of running both if you choose, as well as bringing out the USB port if you want to use it for an external 3G, 4G, LTE type device, or even a GPS module, as some people actually use, not for synchronization, but for asset tracking. You could use GPS to know where this product is deployed. If you look at the price point for this, again, it's roughly $36 US, and it gives you multiple features. Not only the extra connector ports at the bottom, it comes with 2 on the top, 2 SMA connectors, but it actually has a third port if you want to bring a third SMA connector out of the top of the radio. The next product is our STATIONBOX INSPOT. This is actually quite popular for the kind of indoor hotspot market. This is again made from Microtech. A very easy installation on walls or ceilings. Again, it's practically toolless or all toolless. The router boards just click into place. You don't need to use screws to secure them, as well as the lid opening up. So basically router board installations without tools. If we look here, you can see the board just clips into place. The same thing with the SMA connectors and potentially antennas. It's really easy. The lid just snaps into place. So again, you can install this very easily without any tools, and it also accommodates the indoor routers from Microtech, the kind of 951, 751, and smaller form factors. So if we look at compatibility, again, for Microtech, pretty much all the Square 9 series, 4 series, and 7 series boards, as well as their desktop routers like the HAP AC 751, 951. So basically, if it's a Microtech router that has either that larger form factor like the HAP AC 951, or those smaller HAPs like the HAP Lite, the slightly like cigarette pack sized routers, they all click into place without using any tools. As long as it has one of these identical form factors, it'll work. And again, you can see the price point is roughly $14 US. So very cost-effective Unify or CAP replacement from Microtech if you want to integrate, but gives you more options of, again, bringing fiber in if you wish, or maybe even making a second radio, so you can make a 2.4 and a 5 gig all-in-one device. If basically the manufacturers that you're currently purchasing hardware from don't offer the functionality or the feature set of multiple radios or multiple connectivity options for fiber and copper, this is probably the perfect platform for you in order to have those solutions available for either yourselves in the do-it-yourself market or as an integration product that you can offer to your customers. The last product in this enclosure is our ROCKSHIELD. So this is a compact shield for Ubiquiti Rocket M5, also works with Rocket M2. It helps decrease RF noise by shielding your radio, so a lot of the noise that emanates through the plastic enclosure of these radios don't make it to the neighbor radios that you're co-located next to. It also helps increase the lifespan of these radios. So we all know that these plastic radios that are out in the field over time degrade with sun and weather. Not only does this give you a better noise protection, but it also helps increase the lifespan of those radios outside in the elements. And it also has the snap back for antennas. Again, so this rocket inside this enclosure will still easily snap into place on the ubiquity sectors you may be using or our carrier class sector line. All at the same time, keeping the LED status visible, right? So you can still see it through the enclosure. There are some shielding kits out there that don't give you that flexibility. You kind of lose that. With the ROCKSHIELD, you still keep that functionality intact. If we look at how it goes, again, pretty easy, just slides in place. Again, you put the bottom piece on, you connect the Ethernet port, and slide the shield on. It's quite simple to assemble. There's not huge screws, and it still keeps it very compact. So it's a compact shielding mechanism that allows you to, again, continue to use your ubiquity or potentially our carrier class sectors with these radios still, and give you LED status as well. We feel that this is the best cost-effective shielding enclosure on the market for these particular radios. If we look at the pricing, it's just under $20 MSRP for this product. So again, a very high functional, high protection at a very low cost and very well built. So we're just going to look at a few customer installations on how they're using their products to give you a better idea of maybe some ideas that you've had for integration or products that you're trying to build and how you can use them. So again, if we look at the STATIONBOX ALU that we looked at on the left, that's the standard version, the kind of low-cost version. So you can see very simple, single radio, 433 router being used, Ethernet port in, and 2 MIMO antennas out, very simple. If we look on the right, we have the carrier class, the kind of more complex installation. Not only can you see a very large PC Engine's APU board, but you also see DC power supply as well as a PoE power supply inside the enclosure. So again, that deep cavity gives you the ability to integrate not only the board and the radios that you might want to use and maybe even multiple Ethernet ports, but also supporting hardware, whether they're PoE converters, taking a 48-volt PoE coming from your switch and converting it to 18 or 24 volts because maybe that's what your board allows. Again, if you have some relay boards or some other type of supporting PCBs that require power, you again have the ability to integrate those inside the enclosure, so it gives you a lot of room to really get creative and bring solutions to the market that you may have been trying and really couldn't find from other manufacturers. Again, a very cost-effective and I think a very elegant design in both construction and look and feel. Again, here is that same antenna enclosure, same enclosure that you can see, before they get deployed. So they have AC power taps coming into it, plus multiple antenna ports coming out for Omni antennas. So again, you can get as creative as you want with our platforms to again deliver solutions that either the regular manufacturers on the market aren't offering these particular configurations, or you have a very specialty product that you're trying to bring. This is the platform you want to use in order to bring those products to life. If we look at the STATIONBOX S carrier class, again, there's two real functional ways people are using these. I'm sure there's more than just two, but it can be the simple kind of Microtech version of a rocket, simple AP with 2 SMAs that you slide and click on the back of a traditional sector for your AP, or an outdoor hotspot. In this case, you can see this customer is creating a product of a dual wireless device for the field with a particular set of potentially 2.4 gigahertz omnis on the top and 5 gig on the bottom, or dual 2.4, 2.4. Again, it's really up to you how you use it. You could even use those bottom connectors to go to a single or dual polarity panel to backhaul, let's say, into an area on one radio and then redistribute as Wi-Fi on omnis to the other. So again, how you use it is kind of up to you. We just give you the tools to be as creative as you want to be in delivering the solutions that you need for your customers. If we look at the STATIONBOX INSPOT, again, it's quite simple in its use. Again, it's an indoor, aesthetically pleasing access point enclosure that again allows you to tap into the made for Microtech market with all their different router boards that are available either in the already enclosed, like kind of 751 form factor or just a straight PCB router board. So you can use them in many different ways, again, to bring the different connectivity that you need to it. Again, we have a very active community forum. It's rfelab.com. We continue to ask at all our webinars that people get involved in our community if they wish. We'd love to hear from you. A lot of our products are built based off of your feedback, not only improvements in existing products as you see newer and newer versions come out of existing product lines, but also new products in general. So it's you, the community, that helps drive where we go. Your feedback is really important to us, so we'd love to hear from you. We have on social media many different platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, Twitter. Again, many different ways of getting in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you, whether it's a phone call, email, or social media. Whatever's best for you, we're there to hear you and listen to you and help, again, either help you with a product that you're currently using, maybe make a product that you're using better, or come up with a product that hasn't been thought of yet. We want to hear from you. And we make ourselves extremely accessible and available to you for whatever you choose. At this point, we've come to the end of the webinar. I'm happy to stay as long as is needed if anybody has questions. So I turn it over to you, and let me know if we have any questions, or if you have any questions.
Yes, Tassos, thank you so much for your presentation. I do have a few questions for you. Let's go with this one right here, where someone says it's obvious that Ubiquiti has a huge following. Therefore, or then, how do your products compare to theirs? For example, are they user-friendly?
Yeah. So, I mean, if we look at these products, this is an integration platform. So really, the user-friendly aspect of it really depends on the host board you're using, right? So if you consider Microtech more user-friendly than Ubiquiti, then yes, it can be, right? If you are using some other board with a different firmware and a different user experience, again, it's really just an enclosure, just an antenna. What I will say is, from the parts that are similar, right, yes, I believe it's more user-friendly. If you're trying to create custom solutions, there's no other platform out there that will give you the same user experience with ease of installation and assembly, and ways of mounting and using and deploying it. So from that point of view, I believe the answer is yes. If you're asking it from the perspective of how the radios work, is a Microtech indoor AP better than a Unify AP? That I can't really answer, but what I can say is that the way you mount our STATIONBOX INSPOT, for instance, is very user-friendly and easy if you want to use Microtech as your kind of indoor hotspot. So I hope that answers the question.
Yes, thank you so much. You touched on manufacturing a little bit. Can you touch on again where your products are manufactured?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we're located. Everything is designed in Europe, in Slovakia, but the products themselves are manufactured in China, just like practically everything else out there on the market. So the design and some of the assembly is done in Europe, but the majority of the contract manufacturing, the die-cast enclosures, the injection molding, and stuff like that is done in China, or Asia, I should say.
Okay, great. Thank you. I've got a few more questions for you. Someone has written in here that customer service is very important to their clients. What support do you offer, because they did not see a phone number or an email on the website in regards to customer service?
Yeah, so most of it is driven via email and social media. So I would actually say that our customer service is great, I think. And I would love to hear from you personally to do that. So, there are different approaches on how different manufacturers handle products. So when we're talking about this particular product or even some of our other ones, really the heavier side of customer support is on kind of the radio side, right? So if you're using a Microtech router board with our, let's say, INSPOT, really the majority of the questions that you would have are probably on configuration of that router, configuration of the wireless, or what have you. So that really falls on those manufacturers. But I will say is, if your support questions are, how do I assemble this product? Does this board work with this enclosure and what have you? I believe our customer service is fantastic. We are extremely responsive. We actually don't rely on our distributors and resellers as much. We take it on personally because we want to deal with the problems. We want to learn where the pitfalls are or potential mistakes are in the products that we're putting out there. So we are very involved and very plugged into the users when it comes to support. So I say it's very good, and I would love to be able to support you personally if you have issues, to show you that support.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. A couple more questions.
Yep.
You mentioned social media, so this one has a question regarding that. What is your if you know, what is your average response time to answer questions when you get inquiries on social media?
Yeah, so I will answer this from the North American perspective because we are a global company, right? So we operate from the support standpoint out of 2 time zones, right? Central Standard Time here in the U.S., which is pretty much, everywhere in the U.S. is fine, and then Central European Time, right? So if you're in Asia or you're in Australia, the response time could be different because, again, of just a time zone issue. So if we're talking specifically from the U.S., response time is sometime in social media a matter of minutes, and it could be no more than 24 hours. And the thing I will add about a longer response time may have to do, if it's there, and I'll tell you because I handle most of the support and I'm online all the time. So unless it comes in at 3 in the morning from the U.S., you may not see it till the morning. But if it comes in early in the day, if there's a long response time, it may be because it requires some investigation on our part to supply you with a proper answer. But typically, if you're on social media and you tag us, that's the important thing. You put in your question at RF Elements, so we see it instantly. We get the notification. If you just make a blanket post about a product without either tagging us, or it's coming in on one of the Facebook sites or Twitter sites that we're monitoring, like our RF Elements homepage on Facebook or our RFE English group, where we get notifications right away. That's the only time it might take some time. But typically it's in minutes. At least an hour or 2 is usually the longest wait time in getting a response. So it's very quick, I feel.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. Got some more questions for you. Can we do a webinar based for WISP or someone who's going to use them hands-on?
Absolutely. The answer is yes. And this goes along with this, I believe, the support that we give to our end users out there that other manufacturers do not. Again, all it requires is you participating with us, right? So engage us, right? Follow us on Facebook and let us know. We'd love to do a presentation for a particular customer base, and it's hard for me to know, the audience I'm talking to right now, right? So if you're an end user and you're looking at the product and you want to kind of educate or help spread the word or share with your internal partners, right, on a particular technology, I'd love to do a webinar or have a conference call or do something with that. If you're a reseller, right, and you're trying to, again, educate or spread the word about a particular product line that we have to your customers, we'd love to do that. From the reseller point of view, we'd love to list you on our website. If you go to our buy section on rfelements.com/buy, you will see resellers listed there. If you don't see yourself and you are a reseller, just let your distributor know, let Microcom know, or email us direct, and we'd love to add you on there to bring visibility to you. And again, we want to support you as a customer, whether you're an end user, a reseller, or a distributor. Again, we offer all that stuff, and it's at your disposal. You just have to ask.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I'm going to go on to another question for you.
Great.
And I think this is very good. We would like to build a webinar breaking down the 10 products that Microcom stocks and carries. The goal would be to add more, but I guess one goal would be to master what we do carry. So with the webinars that I know we want to schedule with you in the future, that's what we'd like to do. Can you tell us how you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm perfectly on board with that, and we'd love to do that. I think it's best to start that communication process with Microcom direct to figure out what you want. But yeah, I mean, tailoring, again, a presentation to a specific product line is, I mean, we have, about 4 different webinars that we do pretty often, and they are, again, targeted towards specific product lines, right? So we have one towards our horn antennas, which is one particular product line. We have one towards our that's tailored to our carrier class kind of traditional sector, and then we have this product line, which is our integration platform. So we already have webinars that are tailored to specific products, but if we had to narrow that field of view down a little bit further, that's perfectly okay. Just let us know, and I'd love to work with that and help you succeed. That's my goal. We don't sell to the end customer from the dollars exchange, perspective, right? You can't buy from us direct, but we support all the users as if they were buying from us and giving us their money directly, right? So you buy through distribution, but we support you like you're buying direct. That's our goal. That's what makes us different than most of the other manufacturers out there. We care about you.
Thank you, Tassos. We'll definitely hone in on that when we go to schedule more webinars with RF Elements. Finally, one last question. Mm-hmm. Now that we have a new president, have you or can you consider manufacturing in the U.S.?
Yeah, I mean that's a tough question. That goes a little bit over my pay grade, if you want to say. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd love to see that. I don't know of any manufacturer out there that doesn't want to do that. But that also, I believe, and I'm trying not to get political because I don't want to, but I believe it really comes down to the end users themselves, right? There's this ever-going pressure for lower and lower costs, right? So really, I believe that the outsourced labor for manufacturing is driven by the customer base out there that demands lower price. So I believe, it's possible to reduce cost and still manufacture in the U.S. But really, it's the question to you, the end user, the buyer out there: are you willing to pay a slightly higher price? Maybe the answer is yes, right? So I would love to see products built in the U.S. Absolutely, without a doubt. If it was possible to do it and deliver still a price point that you were happy with as an end user, I'm all for it. So, yeah, it's something to consider. Stay tuned, maybe.
Thank you very much, Tassos, for answering all those questions. And thanks, everyone, for attending today. If you have any other questions, feel free to contact your sales rep, or you can email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products shown today, please visit us at www.microcom.us or contact your sales rep as well. And remember, this webinar presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to the Microcom YouTube channel. So if you would like to reference it again, you certainly have the opportunity to view it there. Thank you again, Tassos, and for everyone joining in today. And next time, we look forward to it once again. So have a great day, and thank you so much.
Sounds great. Thank you, everybody. Bye.